Welcome to Sunday edition of Cast Iron IRL. Give everybody a minute or two to come in, get hooked up to the chat. If anybody could hit the like button and let me know that you can hear and see me okay. Appreciate that. My camera's somewhat over that way. There we go. See what the beagle's barking at. I'm sure it's something. I'm sure there's some kind of predator lurking around my back patio. Morning, GH. What's going on, buddy? Just getting hooked up to the chat. Everything's running slow, including me. More importantly, very, very slow this morning. Man, I don't know what. Yesterday afternoon I was. Yesterday afternoon I was getting stuff for a salad for dinner out of the garden, and I was so happy. I was getting everything out of the garden. Everything for my salad last night was out of the garden, and I got bit by something, and not a spider or a tick or anything like that, but whatever bit me made me itch real bad. So I took a Benadryl last night about 11:30, and I'm thinking about 20% slower than I did yesterday when I started out. But anyway, so I'm connected to the chat. And we'll move the camera around. We got all kinds of stuff going on this morning. Still waiting on my coffee, of all things. Let's see who all's in. Rick Stumble, good morning. Reptile humanoid, what are you cooking? I'm going to make sausage and gravy. I'm going to attempt homemade biscuits, 2-ingredient biscuits. So this should be a pretty good one. I've always wanted to try this 2-ingredient biscuit thing. I've always made biscuits basically pretty standard, and I've never really had a lot of great luck. I'm usually one of those tube. I like the Pillsbury tube biscuits. I like those the best. Bob Builder, what's up, buddy? How you doing? But I'm going to attempt Southern style 2-ingredient biscuits this morning. I've got the King Arthur self-rising flour, and I've been on a sourdough kick too. So I haven't been doing anything but sourdough stuff for the past 2 weeks. Not successfully, by the way. Sourdough has become the bane of my existence. So, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. I got the back burner, got that kicking on. We're letting these things heat up. Let's see what the beagle's barking at. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing out there. No lions, tigers, nor bears out there. She's just woofing at something. It's probably a squirrel. She's usually on squirrel duty. Those are her vowed nemesis, is the squirrel population. And I do have a lot of squirrels. I do have a lot of rabbits. So there is some stuff. That's why I'm not giving her a hard time, because she's probably got something she's working on. She's vigilantly patrolling right now. So say good morning, Biggs. She doesn't care. She's busy. She's busy. She is busy. So anyway, back over here to the menagerie of implements of destruction that I was talking to you guys about. And there's something I did want to show you guys this morning before we got started. I know I left this 7 out, this Lodge 7, because I wanted to show you guys something. Now, I see a lot of these that are online, and let me make sure I can get a good picture of this morning with the lights right. Because the lights, it's kind of going cloudy to sunny here a lot, so I might have a little trouble with stuff washing out. But if you can see on that it says 7SK, a lot of times I notice that when people are selling 7s, these modern Lodge 7s online, which I've never seen another one, a real one, it'll be an actual 8SK with a 7 mold or series mark. I still don't know if those are mold marks or series marks on these. Some people will say they're mold marks, but I don't know why all of them, like especially Lodge, they all say 1, 2. the N3. Mine doesn't have one of those because it's like from the 90s, where I don't think they did that stuff. That wasn't really in the molds. But if you look at this, it says 7SK, which means it's actually a number 7 skillet. So when you see these online, a lot of times they'll have a 7 there as the mold mark, and then it'll be an 8SK. So don't get fooled by that if you're out looking for one of these. Like I said, it's a really rare pan. I've never seen another one. So that's a little something I just wanted to throw out, because we didn't get a really good look at it the other day because I had it already. It was already heated up. But I am going to wait on that. So, and I'm going to make my coffee real quick because I didn't wake up until, usually I get up about 7, 8 o'clock on Sundays. But today I got up at 5 to 10, and I still had to run out and get heavy cream because there's no heavy cream in my town. So I'm going to make coffee real fast and get that going because it's brewing. Yeah, I actually had to go out of town at 10 o'clock this morning to get heavy cream because there's nobody in the entire place that has heavy cream other than. But the cool thing is I got to go. We still have, if you've never heard of if you're from the Midwest, you know what IGA is. We still have, in my area, we still have 2 IGA, which is kind of neat. So I went to IGA this morning, and it still looks like 1970s IGA in there. And Teresa Crawl, I'm making sausage and gravy this morning. Sausage and biscuits and gravy. Working on my second cup. I'm up at 6:30 daily. Usually, like I said, I'm up. I usually get up about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And today it just was not like. And like I said, I haven't taken a Benadryl in years upon years upon years. And I feel like I drank like a half a bottle of bourbon, which I did not. And so, yeah, I'm going a little slow this morning, but we'll get through it without question. A little coconut flavoring in there. Splash of milk with the cream. There we go. All right, now I'm all set. Getting there. I'm getting there. Plus we gotta wait on the skillet to heat up. No sugar. No reason to sugar up your coffee that much. Mercy be, I need to go back. I do too. I feel like I could go back to bed, and I have so much to do today, and there was so much I wanted to get done before I made breakfast this morning. But luckily we had thunderstorms here last night, so the garden was watered. I didn't have to do that. I've got more ladybugs supposed to be showing up today, and I'm going to do another wave of ladybugs, but that won't be till tonight. So, and my ladybugs, fortunately, have been sticking around, which usually they last about a day. If you ever work with ladybugs as pest control in your garden, don't get discouraged if they take off like within a day or two, because they just come through and they feed. A few will stay back and they'll breed, and then they just kind of go on to their own, you know. Like my neighbor had a bunch of ladybugs, of my ladybugs. They went over to their house and ate ladybugs. So it's kind of good for the whole environment when you do that. You know, it's nice when you release something that's actually good for your environment. It kind of tends to take care of everything around you as well. But I like to do 2 to 3 releases of the ladybugs every summer. I do one in May, at the end of May, then at the beginning of July, and then I'll do another one mid-August, like early August, to kind of keep the last of the critters off, and then I won't mess with it again for another till May of next year. This doesn't make any sense. But we got some farm fresh sausage here. This sausage, I probably watched them take the livestock to my butcher shop the other day, on Tuesday, and then I picked this up on Friday. So this is ready to go. Be pretty local. Let's see, that coffee looks good. I know I have not had a hot cup of coffee in like 3 weeks. I've just been drinking, and I always throw a little bit of, I'm drinking Don Francisco Hawaiian coconut, and I throw a little bit of coconut flavoring in there. Replaces the sugar. Then I don't need a bunch of sugar other than what's in the milk and the cream. But yeah, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to have 2 cups of self-rising flour. I like to use King Arthur. It usually comes unbleached, so I can use that with my sourdough starters and my sourdough recipes as well without killing anything with the bleach flour. I've got 1 1/4 cups of heavy cream right here, and then we're going to be using for my flour for the sausage. We're going to be using Kentucky kernel seasoned flour, and I like. If you guys, I know for the folks that have watched, but for the people who haven't been there that are new, Kentucky kernel is the best for white gravy, for making chicken strips, anything you want, any kind of breading that you want that has salt and all the seasoning. It's almost exactly like Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's exactly the same. It's the same flavor profile as that. So I use coconut milk unsweetened as a creamer in my coffee, no sweetener. Yeah, there you go. I want to try, I've got it ordered. I got allulose, which is like a fig sugar, which is supposed to have, it's supposed to be 75 to 80% less sweetener, like a blood spiker than sugar. So I'm going to try that out and see how that goes. Usually I use regular sugar. I use stevia as well. I'm not big on artificial sweeteners, but so I'm gonna try this allulose too, and add that, see how it is. Sometimes, like I don't like what's the one, dragon fruit, monk fruit. I'm not a big fan of that because everything kind of tastes kind of has that monk. It just has a flavor to it. So I try not to use anything that has an overall flavor with a sweetener. So Rick, you've used allulose before? I've never used it. I just found out about it like this earlier in this week, and then I ordered it just to see how it was. Because it's I looked at the grocery store, and they don't. My 2 grocery stores I was at this week, they don't carry it. So we're gonna give that a try. But anyway, let's get this coffee in me. I think my skillet's hot enough. We can go ahead and jump over there and throw our sausage into there. And we'll break that up. Came with its own grass. So must be grass fed. There's a piece of grass in it. Okay. And we'll get that chopped up. And I'm not going to overcook that. I'm not going to it doesn't have to be super seared or anything like that. But I want to brown it just a little bit. And I didn't put any oil in there because I kind of want the stuck bits. I want those in the gravy. I want that flavor in there. Now this is also a seasoned sausage, but I'm gonna add just a little bit of pepper and sage to this to kind of pepper and sage it up. Get the big pieces just down to some manageable size. There we go. All right, I like that. I'll take that as far as how that looks. You guys aren't even in the shot, man. I'm not on board today. There we go. Get you guys over here. Like I said, that Benadryl's got me kind of slowed down a little bit this morning. There we go. So we get that there, and pretty excited about what I got coming in today. I got the I think I'm saying it right, the Benetton bowls for my sourdough. I got that stuff going. I'm trying to think what else I got. And I have community coffee. I've never tried community coffee. Everybody swears by community coffee, and I've got some community coffee king cake flavor coming today. So I'm pretty kind of stoked about that as well. So let me grab my sage. Some sage in there. Don't be afraid of the sage in your sausage. There you go. Drop a little pepper on that. And I'm going to bump that sausage up just a little bit because I still got it on warming up heat. So that's about 4. There you go. It seems like I use a lot of pepper, but I actually didn't. I've got, the pepper is just a little bit, the pepper grind is a little bit too big for that shaker, so I have to use quite a bit. So anyway, that stirred around in there. All right. This is great. The flavor. Yeah, it's community coffee. Yeah, if that's what you're talking about, Rick. Yeah, I'm pretty excited that you try it. And king cake looks pretty good. It's like cinnamon and kind of the cinnamon vanilla. Doesn't sound bad at all. But yeah, if everybody take a few minutes and just kind of smash on the like buttons, and if you are out there in the interwebs and you're watching, if you could hit the subscribe button. I'm so close. We are so close to our 500 subscriber goal, which opens up a lot of doors for the channel. Get moderators and all kinds of that kind of stuff, and add links, which is overall some pretty fun stuff if you ask me. There we go. Yeah, there we go. People are hitting the like button. That's great. Where's everybody coming in from this morning? I see a lot of new faces. If anybody wants to put in where they're at, you don't have to put your home address, but maybe the city or state. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, and this number 7, this will probably stick out here in the rotation for a while. I like this one because all my 7s, most of my 7s are kind of they're antiquers, they're vintage, and they're pretty thin. I like a good solid heavy skillet that's not of this size. I really enjoy this number 7. One of my favorite pickups that I found in the wild, actually. Out of all the cool stuff I found, this number 7 Lodge is probably top 10, especially having the lid with it. You very rarely get the lid with anything. Not much going on in the comment section today. Let's pretend like we're watching somebody else. Let's pretend like we're watching somebody else and everybody talk. There we go. Pinion Hills, California. There you go, West Coast. California, they know how to party, according to Tupac. There we go. And there. I think I might just throw a little bit more pepper in there, but that sage is smelling good. And I think, one of the things that's lacking in this sausage that I have this morning is fennel seed. I don't see any fennel seed in that sausage. So I'll add just a little bit of fennel seed from the Wildman Spice and Herb Company, New Hampshire, Ohio. The best seasonings I've ever used, absolutely, by far. And to think that they're fairly local to me is even better. Let's see, get over here. There we go. Just a little bit more. Probably that'd be about maybe a half a teaspoon of fennel, whole fennel seed, and then a little bit of crushed red pepper. Looks like I'm getting low on the crushed red pepper. I'm going to have to take and break out my mortar and pestle and grind up some more cayenne pepper. There we go. Throw that in there. Not too much. I don't want it super spicy. Just want a little color in there. There we go. There we go. It's got that sizzle. Man, it smells really good. It's smelling really good so far. So I'll take that. And just get that nice and browned up. Get everything incorporated in there. There we go. How's that look? That doesn't look too bad. You guys see that okay? Boom. Move you guys over just a smidge. Yeah, everybody's, I understand. I'm trying to wake up myself. Speaking of waking up, get a little more of my coffee. I'm probably gonna have, by the time it's over with, about 3 of these to counteract all that Benadryl. Cause that stuff is no. And I didn't take it till like 11 o'clock either. I've been watching. I've been stuck on this series that I've been watching. I don't know if you. I didn't know it was out. I thought it was new because I just saw I just started seeing advertisements for it. But it's called The Following. Have any of you guys ever seen that one? With Footloose famous Kevin Bacon. And I watched from what is today, Sunday, from Saturday until last night. I watched 15 episodes of The Following. It's pretty good. And normally I don't. It's been hard. I like the series kind of things as opposed to Ming and I are watching The Bear, which is really. Have you ever seen The Bear, the restaurant series? Now I can't think of the guy's name that's in it, but I can't watch The Bear. I can only watch like 1 or 2 episodes of it because it's all about high stress cooking, and so it's just I watch it and I get stressed out. I'm like, man, let's just take a break from this. Because it's like everybody's just they're in a kitchen screaming at each other. It's kind of like watching Hell's Kitchen, and I'm not a huge fan of Hell's Kitchen, by the way, but just because I'm not a big fan of it, and because it's a lot of screaming and the caffeine enhances the effect, really. Ooh. So I'll be wide awake and still on Benadryl. That's kind of, I don't know, there might be, that might be win-win. That might be a win-win. Because I am going to be highly caffeinated here in just about, I'd say in the next couple minutes, this should be kicking in. Give it a solid 10. Okay, so let me take this. This is as done as I need it to be. Because I don't want to make it, I don't want to dry out the sausage. This is really good sausage. So let me just take this out, and we'll take that out, and we'll put it back in there. There we go. Set that off to the side. It didn't really make me a lot of grease, so I'm gonna have to add this butter. I thought I might. And when you're making, one thing with sausage gravy that I found is the key to success is, and with any kind of gravy really, is equal parts oil or grease and equal parts flour. And if you start like that, then you should be in pretty good shape. I don't need to clean it out. I need to clean it out that great. But there we go. Set that off to the side with the spoon. We'll just leave those little bits in there and keep it at about 3. And then I'm just going to add a little more butter to this. And this is just regular unsalted butter. Nothing too fancy. But I don't like using like canola oil if I can help it. I want to drop a big glob of butter in there. So I want some butter for my biscuits as well. Soft butter. So just let me melt that into there. And I don't want the butter to burn. That's the other reason I don't like to use anything but unsalted butter, because unsalted butter doesn't tend to burn like salted butter does. So we'll just take, and I just add that onto the top. I just cover the oil with the flour and get that going. Maybe just a little bit more flour in there. plenty. And we'll just start spinning that around. Now, unlike a lot of roux, I don't like to get this really browned up. I just like to get it worked in. A lot of times, and sometimes when I make this, I'll put the flour right in on top of it. If I have a bigger pan, I'll put the flour right in on top. I'll just move the sausage to the side, and I'll go that route and just use the kind of tip the skillet up and go from there. There we go. The sausage gravy, and this used to be a huge mystery to me on how to make this, but I've had a lot of success in recent years with doing it this way, or just moving the sausage to one side and doing everything right in that one little spot, and then add my milk. And I had a friend of mine, a guy I used to work with, he was saying that he uses he has a skillet that's so big that he uses an entire gallon of milk to make his gravy on Sundays. And I said, really, what kind of skillet is it? And he said, I don't know. He goes, but I'll send you, and you guys that collect cast iron, you'll know this frustration that I have with this. He said, I'll send you a picture. I'll send you a picture of it and you can tell me what it is. I said, okay, that sounds good. And so he sends me the picture, and it's just this much of the skillet. It's not that, it's like from here to there. It's not, there's no picture of the handle, there's no picture of the back. It's just an enormous skillet. And I'm like, and he's like, and then he sees me like a couple days later, and he's like, hey, did you ever figure out what that is? And I'm like, no, I couldn't begin to tell you what that is. I couldn't begin to tell you what that is. Because I couldn't see it. And he's like, why? And I was like, because I couldn't see it. Get that going in there. There we go. So yeah, I couldn't tell him what it is. He's like, and I said, well, I said, you got to send me the whole thing. Like, you got to send me the back piece. You got to send me the handle of it. And then I can tell you exactly what it is. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he never sent me the picture back. So yeah, that's, just for those out there that collect cast iron, you know what I'm talking about. When people do that, or they have one for sale, and they send you a picture of it, and just send you a picture of it on the stove, and that's it. No handle, no nothing, no anything. Just a picture of a skillet, like from here to here. I'm like, well, it looks like you got a cast iron skillet, and that's it. There we go. Thickening up real nice. You guys see that okay? Get you a better shot in here. I need a nice rest. I think I need to get on the Le Creuset site and get one of their really nice spoon rests. Let's see. We'll add that going pretty thick. We'll add just a little bit more of the milk to it. And I'm trying to make a recipe, so I had, so far, I'm at, what would that be? Half a cup of milk so far. So we'll add another quarter cup of the milk in there, roughly. There we go. And then we're gonna add, there we go, put that in there. And then I'm gonna add some pepper and sage to this as well. Because you can have too much pepper in your gravy, but I do tend to like a lot of pepper in my gravy, but not too much. So let's just get a little sprinkle more of the pepper and get that just enough to kind of go over the top. That's enough. That's plenty. And then a little more sage in there. Just a smidge, just a sprinkling of the sage. Keep that sausage flavor going. And then we're gonna thicken that up, and we're gonna add just a little bit more milk to it. And that Kentucky kernel, I know some people might be saying, man, you need to put a little salt in there. Kentucky kernel, and this is straight Kentucky kernel, normally I cut it in half with all-purpose flour. but this is straight Kentucky Colonel, and it's a very salty seasoning, so I'm not adding any salt to this. If I do, it'll be super, super salty, and I don't need that. Go ahead, I'm gonna turn my oven on to 400. And I'll just keep that. I'll go to 350 because I'm gonna put my gravy on the back burner and let it sit there and simmer when it's done. And then we'll just add, well, I started out with 1.5 cups of milk, of vitamin D milk, whole milk. And I'm down to, so far I've used 1 cup of milk and 1 pound. So far I've used 1 pound of sausage, about 1/8 cup of flour, let's see, 1 cup of milk, a little bit of pepper, and so far I think that's been about it. If I'm leaving anything out, remind me. Let's see, JP. My grandmother could make some mean gravy and biscuits. Yeah, I had a lady that was friends with my parents, and when our parents would get together and go out, the next morning, Sunday mornings, my buddy's mom would make biscuits and gravy. My mom never made biscuits and gravy. My grandmother never made biscuits and gravy, but this lady was my plug for sausage, biscuits, and gravy. And she was from Kentucky, and I tell you what, she just cooked so good. And my mom was real health conscious, so she made a lot of everything was well balanced and all this kind of stuff, and this and that. And this lady was straight out of the hills of Kentucky, and she did not, if it meant flavor, it didn't matter what was going in it. And I loved her cooking. Her daughter and I still talk about the Sunday morning biscuits and gravy when we run into each other. It's like the first thing we talk about is our mom's biscuits and gravy. So we had about another 1/8 cup of that. I'm just sitting here. I should be watching the things. Let's see. God damn it, gaming. You're missing something. Let's see. You got me. You got me on that one. Good morning. God damn it, gaming. And Breezo, what's going on? Biscuits and gravy with some grits is my favorite. Grits, I'm in the north. Grits isn't huge here. I mean, you can get them, but generally, I didn't grow up with grits. I know a lot of people. When I do have grits, though, I like to drop an egg in that. I like a little egg in my grits. I know that sounds weird for some people, but I do like it. I do like a nice egg in it. But yeah, grits isn't big. I'm almost as north as you can get before Canada. I'm not that very far. So yeah, Brizo. But they're not bad. I like roll with a little butter on them. Like a little butter. Usually I have to be somewhere if I want grits, I usually have to go I usually order them as a side, like if I go to say a Denny's or something. Some kind of a breakfast place. Breakfast places generally have them around here. Because we have a lot of where I'm at, we have a lot of Kentucky sort of migrated north, and so we have a lot of southern style cooking places here. And I'm just going to add just a little bit more milk. I'm going to go ahead and throw the last 1/8 cup in there. So we used 1.5 cups of milk, and then I'm going to throw the sausage back in there, and then we're going to be done with that. Then we're going to go on to these biscuits. The biscuits I'm really excited to make these biscuits because I've never done two ingredient biscuits before. Crop dusting going on today. Could you hear that? We literally have crop dusting going on this weekend. Move the crop dusters out, and not the funny kind like at Walmart. Let's see. Just trust when you mix them grits together with them biscuits and gravy. Oh my God. I'll have to try that. Well, I'll have to try it. I'll have to give that a go. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I do my gravy real slow. Maggie, thank you so much for showing up this morning. Good to see you. Good morning. Good Sunday morning. But I don't want my gravy to be too thin either. We'll let that cook down. We're going to get it thick before I throw the sausage in, and then I'll throw that back on the back burner and let that sort of marinate and get them flavors all together. And we should be in good shape. That's quite a bit of gravy. That's about where we want to be when we want it. I just want it to thicken up some, just a smidge. There we go. Get that good flour off the sides. There we go. Who else we got in here today? Let's see. It will. Oh yeah, it's gonna thicken. It's gonna thicken. Maggie, I make some good gravy. I make really good chicken gravy and turkey gravy. Oh my gosh. And what temperature does cornstarch gelatin begin and wheat flour during pancake cooking, and how does water availability affect the granule swelling and viscosity development? Man, I have no idea. You might want to gronk that. Yeah, it'll thicken up. I'm just gonna give it a couple more minutes to kind of go around, and then I'm gonna and like I said, I keep scraping down the sides to make sure I'm not getting all the concentrated gravy off the sides, and then we'll throw that sausage back in there, and that'll be cool for a little while, because it doesn't seem like I said, I've never made the 2-ingredient biscuits before, but it doesn't seem like it doesn't take a lot of time, and the recipe is really easy. I'm just going with 1 1/4 heavy cream and 2 cups of self-rising flour. And we're gonna mix that up and knead it for about 3 minutes. And then I'm going to make biscuits. And I've got the oven heating up right now at 350. So, all right, like I said, I'm gonna give that, let me go back over here to the clock so I can see how many. I'm just gonna go about another minute on that. And then I'm gonna throw that sausage into there, and I'm gonna let that sort of thicken on its own. But that's about where I want it. And it's not, if you guys can see as I'm going past, there's no sticking on the bottom, there's none of that. And I didn't use any kind of oil to start out with when I started cooking today. And I've always said, one of the best ways, if you want to clean cast iron really well, make gravy. Cast iron gravy is the best way to clean your cast iron. If you've had a fried chicken dinner or whatever, and you've got a lot of bits and things stuck to the bottom of your iron after a couple hours of cooking, the best thing to do is to make gravy, and because you're going to sit here and do this, and you're going to get all that stuff off the bottom. And when you go and you pour this out and you wipe your pan out, you're going to have a fairly clean pan. A little bit of that'll be about all. No scrubbing. Won't be much scrubbing to that pan, that's for sure. Let's see here. Clock. Yeah, okay. So the gravy's pretty cool. Let me just bring my sausage back over here and I'll dump that in. Yeah, please, don't need any oil. Use drippings from the sausage. Yeah, that's what we used, Maggie. We used the drippings from the sausage and a little bit. The sausage was fairly lean, so I added just a little bit of butter to kind of make up for it, and that's all we did. Yeah, thanks, Rick. Yeah, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, because we are so close. We've had a lot of subscribers this month, like a lot, but we're just a little bit shy of what I need to get some. So we'll just throw this in there, get all that in there. Yeah, I'd say that's just about right. I'd say that's just about right. Looky there. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I'm happy with that. Maybe I could have used a little more gravy, but I think I'm digging on all that. And that's a lot of sausage. Plus, it's this little pan. If I had a bigger pan, it'd look like a little more gravy in there. But I'm using a pretty small pan today. There we go. I am happy with that. A little more of that in there. See, get the, I don't waste. Waste not, want not, right? There we go. Okay. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I could use a little bit more, but that's but it'll be all right. I might just throw in just a smidge more. I'm just gonna throw in I am gonna throw in just a little bit more milk into that because I'm gonna let it sit. Let me grab just a smidge more milk out of there. I'm gonna throw about another 1/4 cup of milk into there, and we should be pretty good. We should be pretty good. Thank you very much, Maggie. It smells fantastic. I mean, this smells like what we're looking for, that's for sure. I'm just gonna pop just a little bit, a 1/4 cup more milk into there, because I'm gonna let that sit on that back burner and do its thing. There we go. There we go. And with that little bit of milk in there, I'm gonna throw in, and that'll thicken up without me stirring the hell out of it too. And I'm gonna throw just a little bit more pepper into that. Throw a little more pepper on that. Just enough to cover the top. Just enough to say we did it. There we go. All right, I think we're cool. Scotty's Backyard, what's up, buddy? How are you doing this morning? You've been putting out I'm watching some of your videos for barbecue season. I'm watching some of your Weber style ones. See, there we go. I'd say that looks just about right. If you guys can see that okay. I'd say that looks about, and we'll let that sit and thicken while it's on the back burner. There we go. And that will thicken. There we go. Okay. Grandkids keep me busy. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I don't know anything about that. I don't have any grandkids. My kids keep me busy. My kids are now officially all adults as of a couple months ago, and they still keep me fairly busy. I got one that just got their first house a couple months ago, so I'm and loading stuff up and packing stuff up to take to her that she can finally get out of my house and put into her house, so she can have her boxes of stuff that gosh knows what it is. Gosh knows what all of it is. Let's put the lid on that. That's the other thing I really dig about this 7. You gotta have that matching lid. And I was lucky to find this matching lid. Let's see, grab this, put this over here, and throw this onto the, ooh, that's heavy, back burner. And that exhaust burner will keep it, that'll keep it cooking. It'll keep it kind of simmering without burning up. So there we go, there's that. So let's go over here and make our biscuits. We'll clear off a spot and get our biscuits started. There we go. I think I'm gonna make another coffee though. Yeah, so far the gravy's looking on point. So I'll take that, and then we'll get started with the next thing, which is filling my coffee cup and getting more ice, which I am starting to wake up a little bit. I am starting to finally wake up, which is pretty nice. And then we'll check comment section. Let's see. Grandkids keep me, yeah. What's going on in the comment section this morning? I get it. It's still pretty early. That is true, 100%. And like I said, it's feeling really, really to me. So do this again. Some coffee as I do it around the camera stand. I love these little cups too. If you guys haven't got yourself any of these infinity cups, I love the ball infinity cup. Absolutely love these things. Keep the hot drinks hot and the cold drinks cold. And they even work a little bit in the middle if you need it to. Oh. There we go. A little bit of milk. And a little splash of coconut flavor. There we go. There we go. Nice splash of that. Oh yeah, I can smell that already. There you go. No need to go to Starbucks. All right, let me get my bowl out. Wipe this little spot down. Wipe the spot off. I don't want to get my flour wet. There we go. That over to here. And move my gravy spoon out of my way. And the heavy cream I don't need anymore for right now. And we should be good. And I don't need this Kentucky kernel anymore. So let's clear everything out because I got a big bowl coming. Yeah, nectar of the gods. It is this morning. And the Benadryl's feeling's kind of washing off, which is kind of nice too. I do not like to take medication. Medication and I don't usually go too well together. Let's see, move that. And then we'll get into our biscuits. There we go, our bowl. And like I said, this is a fairly standard recipe, so we've got 1 1/4 cup of heavy cream. That we'll throw about half of that in there. And it's delicious. I love cream. Go, and then we'll open up our bag of flour. Put that stuff back there where it goes. You see that okay? Yeah. And this was a good excuse to use this flour too, which has been sitting in my cupboard for ever since I got sourdough. All my flour has been, except for my all-purpose. I haven't made, usually I used to make about 1 loaf of bread every week or two, and now I haven't made bread other than sourdough bread. And I would show you guys my sourdough bread, and how I make it, but I don't know how to make it. I'm still kind of learning that whole process too. I have a problem with my sourdough bread of getting the gluten right to get the rise right. That's been my is getting the stretch and fold to create the gluten in there, so I'm not getting much rise in my bread. My bread looks almost like pita bread. It tastes really well. Tastes really good, but it doesn't rise very well. But I'm working on it. Let's see, 2 cups of that. There we go. And we'll start getting that together with a spoon. That kind of start stirring that around. There we go. And the recipes that I look at, they say don't overdo it, or you won't get a good rise. So I'm not going to overdo it. There we go. It's supposed to be shaggy, and then we throw it on. We knead it out for a few minutes, and then that's it. There we go. just to be formed together. Which, there we go. Put you guys right over top of this here. Out of the way. A little better shot. There we go. So you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. Check the comment section, and there isn't anything in it. Nothing that I can see. Check the other monitor. Homemade bread is the best ever. Yeah, I love homemade bread. It is absolutely my favorite. And I make really good, I make a pretty decent homemade white loaf of bread. I'm gonna add just a little more of that. Just get the last little drizzle in there. Might even actually do a splash more. Got that shagginess. Shaggy's there. There we go. Might just add just a little more. I might just add another splash of that whipping cream in there because I'm not looking. I think it's a little dry. Some said 1, some said 1 1/4, some said 1 1/2. So I kept just a little back, just in case. I think that should be about plenty. So we're just a little, maybe pushing toward 1/3 of a cup. Yeah, I like that a little better. That seems to be getting it around in there. Move my jelly out of the way. Because I definitely want jelly with my, I do want one of these biscuits to be a jelly biscuit. Because for some reason I've been craving grape jelly. There we go. That's what we're looking for. That's what we want. I want it to be just like that. That was a little too shaggy. So this is that little bit. So we pushed about a cup, just a little under 1/3 of a cup, I gather to say. And we ended up with that. So I will take that, and I'll take that. That looks like a good dough to work with. About the consistent, a little less, just about cookie dough, seems to be. All right, so let me get some water on my hands, and then we'll get that working around. Move my flour out the way, because I'm done with that. For now. Till I flour this board here. Sorry, I gotta kick the stand at least once or twice during all that. Oh, and I forgot to leave my hands wet. So we'll just move this down and put a little bit of this flour down and flour up that surface. And I'm just going to do it right onto there. There we go. Let's do it right on the counter. Counter's clean. Clean enough. My house is clean enough to be happy. Or what is it? What's the adage? Clean enough to be healthy, but dirty enough to be happy. Let's see. Every time I bake bread or biscuits, the recipe changes slightly depending on the humidity and the environment. Yeah, that's true. And with this temperature that I'm in right now, like we've been in basically the weather here has been Jamaica. I mean, it's humid, it's hot. So I've had a little bit of everything so far. I've had just a little bit of everything in here the past few weeks, ever since June, really. I mean, it's just been, we had thunderstorms last night. And it's so crazy where I live. I'm just like right on a weather line. And like the town next to me had 65-mile-an-hour winds. There's trees down everywhere. And we just got rain, and that was it. We didn't even get, like, I went out and took my patio umbrella and wrapped it up last night, but I really probably didn't need to. Yeah, sorry, Mercy, I'm right toward the, yeah, let me move let me move my microphone away if I'm cracking. That just means I'm too close to the microphone. There we go. Just add a little bit more flour to the surface there. I'm getting a little sticky. Betsy Ramos, hello. How are you? Good morning. Good to see you. There we go. But the dough came out, this dough's come out really nice. There we go. Is that better, Mercy B? Is that a little less cracking? Your listening pleasure is my highest priority at this moment. I feel like I'm back in the pizza parlor again. I think when I retire, officially, completely retire, I think I'm going to go and I think I'm going to work in a pizza place. I always liked working in pizza. I always liked sitting around making pizza all day. Let's see. Flatten that out a little bit. I feel like I should be throwing it in the air. Like just tossing it in the tossing it in the air, spinning it, and maybe got some '70s classic rock going on in the background. Papa Badgers, yeah, Papa Badgers. I want to get something. I think now that I'm not, like, I want to do like a food truck of some kind. I think that's what I've been looking at. I've actually been looking at like barbecuers, I've been looking at pizza ovens, I've been looking at something to do like that. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to get it down. And then I'm going to break out this cutter, I think. Because I only have, okay. Now this cutter, this was a pretty funny thing. Men got this in the clearance section at Walmart about a month ago. Can anybody tell me what this is? Because there's actually a site somewhere on Reddit, according to her. I'm not on Reddit, but she has that app, and there's a thing on there that's like name the cookie cutter, like it's like a cookie cutter thing, cookie cutter, like a subreddit, and she put this up there, and she honestly got 40,000 responses of what, and most of them were different, of what this could actually be. It doesn't say on the side. We even hit the QR code, and it doesn't come up what it is. Yeah, but it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have the stem. I'm sure I'm taking it out of the shot because I'm trying to read the comments. But yeah, we cannot figure out what this is, and when you go and you hit the barcode on the side, it doesn't say what it is either. It just says metal cookie cutter. That's all it says. It's the strangest thing. Somebody has said, Granny Graham, good morning. Somebody has said that. Hollyberry, somebody has said that. We've had Frog. We've had one of the characters from some movie, like the Minions movie, whatever that is. Looks. I've had baby shirt. I've had baby shirt. I've had onesie. She had onesie on there. But it's had all kinds. It's had 40,000 people respond to what that could be, and that's why I'm not taking the barcode off of it, so she could, because she's probably, if she's what she, I don't know, it's what, not even noon yet, so she's not up, so I know she's not watching, but I don't want to ruin. I don't want to take the barcode off of it because I don't know, for whatever reason. There's no way to identify it completely. But that's what I thought we'd make our biscuits out of this morning. I thought that'd be kind of fun. bring that out here and see what you guys think of it. I have no idea. Yeah, I know. It looks like, if you go that way, it looks like a shirt. Somebody put up that it's alternate Superman thing, like a Superman logo. We've got a lot of different things that's literally 40,000 people. And she was looking at it and she's like, you wouldn't believe how many people have responded to that. And I'm like, yeah, I would. It's the internet. It could be anything. And she was like 41,000 people or something crazy. Let's see. Get one out of there. Nah, I'll just roll it back up. We'll just roll it back up and flatten it back down. But I don't want to do it too much because I don't want to overdo the flour or overdo the dough. It's all about gluten in these things. It's all about your gluten content. Plus, I'm going to do this one. I want to do a couple that are a little thicker. I'm going to do a little thicker biscuit than those other ones. Do 2 like that. But yeah, it was the funniest thing, and we were just sitting there, and then I just sat there and watched. I just sat there and watched her watch the people. It's a broken meth pipe. You never know. But it was only $1. You know what I mean? It was in the clearance section at Walmart, which we always hit. I love the clearance section of any store. I don't always get something from it, but I always like going and just seeing what's in there. There we go. I think these are a little thicker than the first ones. I like that. I like that thickness a little better. That's about a 1/4 inch, I'd say. That flour on there. There we go. Can you guys, am I in the shot there? Yeah. How many we got? Those other ones are kind of thin. The first ones I did. Yeah, they're a little too thin. I might just actually double stack those. I'm gonna double stack them. The first 2 that I did, that's kind of thin. Get them layered biscuits. Love layered biscuits. And then I'll leave this one just to see what it does. But I like that a little better. If you guys can see those. Like these. As opposed to that first one. And then this one I'll just kind of make one big one. But yeah, that dough's coming out really nice. I like how that's doing. But we're about to third base with this whole thing. Let's see. We'll get that over there. Yeah, I'll take that. I will take that. I'm just going to dust a little flour dust on there. Who's the jumpsuit? I've got one of them. Yeah, I've got one of them. Oh, I missed it. Let me see if I can catch it on the other screen. It's a onesie. Yeah, I've heard. See, we've heard onesie. I've heard that too. Give it a good dust of some flour. Because I don't usually do anything like, I don't butter the, I'm not going to butter these, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take just a little bit of that milk and I'm going to brush onto, take a little bit of that, we're going to brush that on. Bit of that milk and brush that onto there. So I don't want to butter the bottoms because when I've done other biscuits similar to this, when I butter the bottom of the pan, they burn. I don't want to burn the biscuits. That's key. Don't burn the biscuits, especially when you got a chance when the topic is biscuits. There we go. All right. Just gonna smear that on there. There we go. Yeah, don't want to burn the biscuits. Let me move that bowl out of the way. Okay, so I'm happy with those, whatever these are. And this is one of those where your mind can make them any kind of biscuits they want to be. In your mind, they can be whatever they want. I just think it's funny. I think that's a hilarious thing that there's number one, that there's actually a page for that. I'm at 370. Okay, so I'm gonna knock this up to 400 degrees. That coffee's good. That's coffee is great. I'm gonna stir this. We'll come over here, and while we're waiting on that, we'll just come over here and check the gravy right quick and see how that's doing. God, I'm gonna fire the cameraman at some point. This cameraman's getting fired. And we'll bring that over here. Check that out. There we go. I'd say that's looking good. Move that up to the front burner now. We'll put that on the simmer. Put that on the simmer at the front. That going. Hope that cooked down. Yes, please, everybody hit the like button. We ended the last one. We hit the all-time high of like button hitting, which was pretty cool. So let's move this back over here now that we've looked at that. And I'm just going to use a number 10 skillet, just a Lodge, nothing fancy. My old 90s Lodge number 10. And we'll put those in there. No grease. No nothing. And we'll set those in there. Ungreased. A little bit of milk. There we go. Yeah. And I like the doubled up. I actually kind of like these that are doubled up. That looks pretty... I wonder if they'll turn out like the flaky, like the tube ones. I don't want to get them too crowded. That's a big one in the center. There we go. Give them a little room to grow. And like yay. There we go. I could have broke Excalibur out, but we've seen that a million times. And I didn't want to get into Bob Builder. I think a bear head, but the 80s were hard on me. I'll have to look at the comment ahead of that. Let's see. Yeah, it's got one of them. So, there we go. I think a bear head, but the 80s were hard on me. The 80s for me, when I was just getting started. I wasn't a total pro till the middle. If they touch, they will rise better. Really? Is that a thing? Okay. Because like I said, I've never made these 2-ingredient biscuits before. So I'm gonna take your word. If they're messed up, Rick, I'll find you. Biscuit shape badger. Yeah. Yeah, these are badger shaped biscuits. Okay. All right. So we'll just wait till that hits the 400, and then we're going to go about 10 to 12 minutes with that. And then we'll be having biscuits and gravy. Then we'll just clean up that little messy area over there and go from there. The Beags is definitely going to... And then, let me see. Man, I was wondering when the trolls would get here. Finally, double X. We've been patiently waiting on you. Yeah. When you were little, I'm sure your parents they had such high hopes for you. And then look what's happened. Let me see. But yeah, so hopefully, Rick, these do pop up. I'm pretty excited about the one in the center. And then, like we said, the Beags is gonna have. I think I'm gonna give the Beags that little one that I didn't fit in there. So I know, man. I've been waiting for these losers to show up to my channel. They never. I was hoping to get one right off the rip when I was like first, when I was still groggy. It kind of gets me going. The ones from from certain parts of the planet are my absolute favorite, but I'll take this one. I'll take this loser when I can, if he's willing to hang out. Okay, 400 degrees, we hit it. And for once, there's not anything in the oven, which is pretty unusual too. Usually there's something always in the oven. And for you folks that have cast iron, you know exactly what I mean by that. There is always something in the oven. There's always a piece of cast iron in the oven. And then we'll move this 7 back over to the serving area. We'll turn that on to simmer. And put that back over here onto here. There we go. But yeah, I'm really surprised at the lack of trolls today. Usually Sundays, Thursdays toward the end of the show, the Thursday night shows, the lives, they do kind of tend to show up then, because there's like that part of the world starts to, you know, get ready to, I think they're checking in for the night. But then usually Sunday mornings I get a couple of these losers that show up and have something ridiculously dumb to say, because they need attention. But that's what happens when you don't hug your kids, folks. If you don't hug your kids occasionally and say, "Hey, good job. You made it to the bathroom on time." That's what happens. They don't. They grow up and become internet trolls. That's one thing that's a definite. Let me see. Yeah, I've always got. I don't know how many of these live streams I've done where I've accidentally had something there. Let me put my charger on here. There we go. I feel sorry for the gals that try and do like really serious. This is just a cast iron cooking and history channel. But the gals that like that are actually like personal trainers trying to grow their brand, and then they have this like simp after simp after simp in their live streams. I feel so bad for them. I do every time. Kind of take this stuff up. Get that out of the way. Get a little dish. Let me grab a little dish for the Beagle's biscuit. We'll throw her one in there. She'll get one anyway, and she'll get some gravy. Scrape all this stuff together. What's that in the shot here? Beaks cam. Where's the beak? She'll be out here. When she smells everything, she'll be out here. I think she's sleeping, or she's clocking it's Sunday morning, Sunday early afternoon. So we have a lot of kids on my street, so that keeps her fairly entertained with stuff to look out the window at. So I would imagine that's what she's up to right now. There we go. And actually, after Ming leaves, Ming comes and stays with me for a week or two at a time. And after she goes back, when she leaves, I usually have the beagle. The beagle has been all over me for the last few days because she doesn't have anybody to play with. There we go. So, there we go. Get that off there. And then I'll wipe that off. Put that into the bin. And there we go. Set that and I'll wipe that off real quick. Just real quick, give it a wipe down. And we'll put the plate up there. And we can all stare at my counter for just, give me about 30 seconds and then we'll change the scenery. There we are. And away we go. Oh, I never set my timer. I'd say we're about. Oh, shoot. There we go. Timer. Where is it? There we go. is going on with my timer this morning? Timer. It's acting crazy. There we go, 7. We're about 7 minutes and we'll look at it. Let's see, I'm very fortunate when I've got to leave. My baby girl princess goes to her auntie's next door. Oh, that is nice. That is nice. Nicole Cameron, hello from Scotland. How are you this morning in Scotland? Or I should say, what, this afternoon? Maybe what, about 5? It's about 5 o'clock there. Thanks for showing up, saying hi. We're just doing some biscuits. I'm actually doing breakfast. Or really here at this time of day, it's about brunch. Because it's what? Is it noon yet? Yeah, noon 8. It's noon 18 here, so there we go. Get the plate. Yeah, it's 5:17. There we go. I've been watching a lot of live streams from Ireland the last couple days. So I've kind of adjusted to what the time is in that area, in that part of the world. No, it's not. I'm the auntie. Sounds like. What's your dog's name again, Rick? I know you said. I've never grasped what American biscuits are. Is it kind of like a savory cake? It's this is just to break it down for you, Nicole. These are 2-ingredient Southern style biscuits, which is just flour and cream, whole cream. And that's it. There's nothing else in it. There's a little salt and baking soda in the self-rising flour, but that's about it. Yeah, there's nothing. And then I got a little grape jelly I might add to it. But yeah, it's kind of like a scone. It's like a scone. See, I've never it's like a scone exactly. It's just not as crispy as a scone. Scones are just a little more crispy. This is more like flaky on the inside. I'm hoping, flaky on the inside and more of a crispy on the outside. But yeah, Nicole, if you haven't already hit the like button and subscribe, hit the subscribe button. I do this every Sunday about 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and then Thursday nights Eastern Standard Time at 8 o'clock. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're trying to get to our certain goals so I can have moderators. But I'm hoping that when I do have moderators that they leave the trolls to me, because the trolls are my favorite. I love the trolls. Love me some trolls. Sadie, that's what it is. That's what it is. Sorry, Rick. It escaped me there for a second. I knew what it was. But thanks for letting me in. Yeah, baby girl's name is Sadie. My dog, the beagle was so hard to name. My dog, I felt bad for her. She had so many different names to begin with. Her name was, initially, I'm trying to think. She was hard to name. Initially she was, I forget what it was when we got her, and it was a really lame name. Her name was, when she was like 8 weeks old, I got her, 10 weeks old, and they were calling her Tokyo, which I don't know where the heck that came from. And then we tried a couple names and they didn't fit because she's just a rambunctious dog. You know, we tried some of the standard names and all this, that, and the other, and then to know Sadie is to love Sadie, yeah, 100%. And then one night, Ming and I were, when she was little, we'd had her about a week, and we were watching something about Billie Eilish, and we were talking about her dog's name, which was Shark. And then Shark became kind of her name for a minute, and then she came to it for a couple days, and then she quit coming to that name. And then she bites a lot, so we started calling her Nipsey Russell. And then that never fit. And because people kept getting it wrong, like the vet, everybody thought we were saying Gypsy, and that definitely wasn't her name. And then, let's see, are you from Alabama? I adore that accent. No, I'm from Ohio. I live in Ohio. most of my life. I started in California and then I migrated to Ohio. But thank you. I probably like your accent too. I'd probably like it if I heard it. Well, yeah, it's different. It's a few states away. It's about, let me see, I think Alabama for me is like maybe 16 hours, I think, if I drove like I normally drive, which is kind of fast. But yeah, Nipsey Russell never hit. And then I just started, and we've always called all our dogs beagles. So I just started calling her the beagle, and that hit. Oh, I'm sure you know Willie from The Simpsons. I'm sure you don't. Let's check our biscuits. I think those biscuits are going to need a little time. When you do stuff in cast iron, if you don't heat the pan, which I didn't heat the pan up to begin with, you have to give that pan like another 5-6 minutes to catch up. So my biscuits are going to need a chance to catch up. So I went with 10 minutes, and then we're going to need Keith Egan. We're making biscuits and gravy. Yeah, that's what we're making. The 2-ingredient biscuit with the self-rising flour and homemade sausage gravy, and that's what we're making. Good morning to you. Nice to see you. Keith Egan, you're in Ireland, aren't you? UK's flood me. I love it. But yeah, and then we did Nipsey Russell, and that didn't fit. So we started going with the Beags because all of our dogs are beagles. And then the Beags just kind of became the Beags. And you know how, kind of like when you have kids, your kids, they eventually get a nickname. That's where, yeah, and then the Beags was there. Yeah, in Ireland. Yeah, I thought so. Very, very good. I was watching live streams out of Ireland the last couple days. Yeah. Mostly the northern part. I've been watching those. Trying to figure all that out. Yeah, most of my I know where Ireland is. I know the Northern Ireland. I'm just not getting into the politics of it. You know what I mean? I know a lot about what goes on in Ireland, actually. I've been watching the parades. I've been watching a lot of that stuff. I follow the news. I follow the parties. I follow all this stuff. Yeah. But we have other people that are in the UK and in that region. Yeah, I know about the Brexit and all that kind of stuff and different things. Yeah, I'm pretty up to speed. As far as somebody from Ohio can be, I guess. Let's see here. So we did our first 10 minutes. I'm going to check it. I don't want to open it too much. I think I'm just going to look through the light. Because if you're looking, you're not cooking as far as in the oven goes. And those do need a little bit more time. So we'll go over here and check the gravy and see how that's doing. But yeah, I've been watching the parades. I was watching the pyres. I was watching that Friday night, or the 11th. I was watching the 11th pyres. And I was watching all that kind of stuff. But like I said, it's not a political channel, so I don't get into it. If anybody wants to watch politics, they can go to, there's a billion other channels for that. This is the break from all the time Thursday night. Might be too late for me in the night. Yeah, it probably is. I do it 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that would be what 1? Yeah, 1 in the morning for you. So hopefully you're getting some sleep at that time. But there's always replays if you want to watch the stuff. Usually it's a fairly interesting topic. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. I would buy that. Let's see. Yeah, I'd absolutely be sleeping good. Yeah, at 1 o'clock in the morning, that's usually about when I go to bed too. So that's more of my. Yeah, Keith, I keep a close eye on what goes on there. Actually, my grandmother was my great grandmother was from Ireland, and she lived at my grandmother's house growing up. So I kind of grew up. I grew up in that culture, as far as Irish American culture goes. I grew up in a lot of. I grew up in an Irish American culture, for sure. It was my house was so Irish when I was a kid. I thought Notre Dame. When I was a little kid, I thought that Notre Dame was the home team for the town I lived in, for the town that my grandmother lived in. I could Notre Dame, the college football team. If you're aware of those guys, I honestly thought they were the home team for the town that we lived in, because we watched it every Saturday night at 8 o'clock, and everybody in my whole family, we all had. When everybody else had Ohio State merch, wearing Ohio State jerseys, I was like one kid in class. One kid, and there's even a picture of me like in the first or second grade, and I had a Notre Dame jersey on, and I'm just surrounded by Ohio State fans here. Fuzz Fork, what's up, buddy? How are you? Good to see you. There we go. Check the gravy. Gravy's looking great. You could swing you guys over just a little bit. I had to put my camera on the charger, so I forgot to charge my camera this morning. Or actually, I didn't forget. I just slept through it, to be totally transparent. So the gravy's looking pretty good. So we're gonna be stuck with this one shot. I want to keep an eye on the biscuits here. Just gonna open these up and see how they're doing. Yeah, they're gonna take a minute. I don't know. Yeah, that's skillet. I should have heated that skillet up. That's my fault. Yeah, same as Keith. We don't really watch your sports either. Let's see. Tell me about the gravy. What on earth is it? And you have it with essentially Wisconsin. Yeah, over top of. Yeah, we break them in half and then we pour it over top of that. Because I'm still convinced soccer's not real. I don't think that's a real thing. I think it's what in America we tell kids about soccer to talk them out of playing football. If your mom kind of is like that. My gravy comes from the jar. Yeah, there's not nothing wrong with jarred gravy either. The gravy is, okay, so it's sausage, and then it's browned up, and then I take the gravy off. Now you can leave the sausage in there. I take the sausage out, and then I use a little bit of, with the grease, I use equal parts grease to equal parts flour. I make a little bit of a roux, to get it thickened up. And then I just add milk until it's the consistency of that I want. And I think I used, let's see, for the amount I had about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of oil, grease left over. And then I added maybe a teaspoon of butter. And then I just cover it. I cover that with the flour that I'm going to use. And pepper. If you don't have the seasoned flour, then use salt and pepper with it as well, a little bit. And then I just create a roux with that, and then I just add milk, and I just keep stirring and stirring until I have the consistency of the milk I want. Let's see, I never really watched golf until the women wearing really short skirts. Yeah. It sounds delightfully comfort foody. Yeah, it's a southern dish here. Yeah, it's kind of yeah, it's a southern thing, mostly. At least as far as I know. We have missionaries in my town. One from Alabama today was telling me about grits. Yeah, we had somebody talking about grits earlier. Now, see, I'm in the north part of America, and grits where I'm at, we have them. You can get them, but they're just not very popular. Yeah, it does. It depends on the gravy, Keith, really. I mean, gravy is, like a chicken gravy is pretty standard to any kind of chicken gravy anywhere. A turkey gravy, a beef gravy, that's kind of, I noticed like in Canada, the gravy looks a lot thinner, but I think a lot in Canada, they use a lot of canned gravy. But it's just kind of thick. We don't do grits here. Yeah, Fuzz, you're in the same state as me. Yeah, grits just aren't a big deal. They're not something that I get down with too much. It was never something we had growing up, that's for sure. Definitely wasn't something I had growing up. I had it as an adult, you know. That's the first time I'd ever had it. Let's see. What's a typical Ohio food? It's kind of eclectic here because most people from Ohio are from, you know, like sort of like settler days. We all came from somewhere else, so there's a lot of different kind of food. It's a lot of like pot roast kind of stuff, hamburger steaks, that kind of thing. Casseroles in the wintertime. Casseroles are really big here in the wintertime. Trying to think. It's just a lot of, I mean, it's you know, I grew up with everything from, yeah, casseroles. I grew up with everything from steak to stir fry as a kid. So I think there's Skyline chili spaghetti is kind of, that's an Ohio thing, which actually the people that invented it were Greek. So like I said, a lot of things that came here. Our pizza is really good. Surprisingly enough, people don't give Ohio enough credit for its pizza. We have great pizza, and we have all different kinds of pizza. We have Detroit, we have Chicago pizza, we have New York style, we have the hand toss, we have all the different kinds of pizza here. I mean, everything. Yeah, I'm a huge Jaws fan. Jaws is my favorite movie, so I have a lot of shark stuff. Let me check my biscuits here. I just like them to get a little more brown. But yeah, I should have heated that pan. Steaks, meatloaf's big, potatoes and fish, because we live near the Great Lakes. Fish, walleye's our big fish. That, perch. Some people do catfish, that's a little more southern. But yeah, walleye's the big one here, and perch, fish sandwiches are here. Yeah. But it's sort of I don't know, Fuzz, you're from Ohio as well. I mean, you can back me up on that. It's definitely eclectic. I'm gonna pull out one of these biscuits here in just a second, because I don't want the bottoms to burn on these, and I'm not sure why they're not browning up as well as they should be. But yeah, trying to think of what else is real big. Is real big here. Yeah, meatloaf is huge. And the other thing that's really big here is potato soup. In my area, potato soup is a big deal. Like people, like the town that Ming lives in, potato soup is like part of the culture. Like who makes the best potato soup? It's like always like a big deal. Who makes the best potato soup? And what else? Yeah, it's just sort of it's an eclectic place to live. That's what I like about it. You know, there's a lot of people, like when you get down to the South, you get into people that like no sugar in the cornbread, and then up here we have both. So like when we hear no sugar in the cornbread, we're just like we're just like, why? And then like no beans in chili. People in Texas lose their mind about putting beans in chili, and up here we have both. You know, and we just don't. When people say, oh, you don't do that, we're just like, why? It's good. We love some potato and broccoli soup's huge. But yeah, that's beef and noodles. Beef and noodles is a big one. That's another one. Chicken and noodles, beef and noodles. That's another big one here. Sorry it's taking so long. Cause I'm ready for breakfast. And we're just sitting here staring at this thing. And we love our egg omelets. Yeah, egg omelets are huge here. Huge. Let me pull these out. I'm gonna check these. I'm gonna check one. There we go. I'm gonna pull one of these off and just give it a look-see. Give it a look-see as to how it's doing. There we go. Let's pull that one. Let's pull that one apart. Let's see what's going on, if it's ready or not. I'd say we're looking pretty good. I just want to make sure the center is done. Because I didn't heat that skillet up. And when you use cast iron, I don't know why I didn't think to do that. Yeah, they could use just a couple more minutes. You can see on the inside it's still a little doughy. But they're really nice and flaky. I mean, that's coming out nice. I'll take that. This needs a few, like about, I'll say 3 minutes. And then we're making, we'll do a little beaks cam here once these biscuits cool down. But she's over there. She's sleeping by the window. She got bored looking out the window. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. We like almonds. Yeah. But yeah, these are just a little bit doughy on the inside, but they're really nice and flaky. You can see that. They just need a few more minutes to cook, and they'll be fine. Good. Right as the mail. Aha. Oh yeah. That and jelly. They taste good. That in there. Yeah. It's not bad. Now, seeing how that's the first time that I've made these, I think I would add a little bit of salt to the dough, but not a lot. See, we make all that here. Keith, there's a lot of Irish culture here. Some of the best Irish bars in America are like Cleveland, Cincinnati. We do shepherd's pie. I've done shepherd's pie. Stews. Yeah. I've done Cole Cannon on the show a couple times. I want to do champ and mash here pretty soon. That's another one. But I'm sort of waiting for cooler weather for champ and mash. Beagle, are you alive? You want some biscuit? Want to try some biscuit? Let's give these people some beagle cam while we wait. Let's see, happy breakfast. Happy breakfast to you too. Put beef and shepherd's pie. We use both. One shepherd's pie and one's cottage pie. We do both. The last one I did was the last shepherd's pie-ish thing I made was I made cottage pie with beef. Beagle, want a biscuit? Can I get a spin? She's like, I just woke up, bro. Talk to my agent. There we go. How's that biscuit? It's 540 there. Yeah. But yeah, Keith, we have both. Can I get another spin? Can I get one more spin? There we go. There we go, kid. What's cooking? Biscuits and gravy, Hazy. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, she is a good girl. She's having some biscuit. Yeah, we just gave that a couple more minutes. They're basically done. They just needed to cook. Come here. Can you sit? And shake. Gotta shake all the way. Thank you. There you go. There we go. All right. All right, I think these are done. They should be done. We'll pull these out. These out of the oven. Yeah, something. Little biscuits and gravy this morning. Here, watch out. I don't want to burn beagles. All right, these are done. You can see them. Ooh, let me turn that off. There we go. Kind of nice. They browned up a little bit. Nice brown, cracked, and they're ready to go. So we'll bring these over here, and we'll start scooping up. Start scooping these up. Put that over to there. There we go. That's good enough. All right, that's good enough. Oh yeah, these came out. Yeah, I like the thickness of these. I made the first couple too thin. But yeah, those came out pretty nice. And then we'll just break these in half. Pop them in half. Oh yeah, the inside looks nice. You see that real well? It's nice and flaky. It's nice and flaky. I like that. Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, turn that damn alarm off. That's the last thing I need. Sunday mornings. Sunday mornings have no, well, alarms have no business on Sunday mornings. At all. I even throw those other ones that were in there. And let me get another bowl so I can put these off. The other ones that are done into a bowl. And I'll set the beagles into. There we go. There we go. You guys can see those okay. Those ones, the thin ones, came out kind of thin, but they still roast pretty decent. And I'll drop this one in, and we'll give the beagle her own. I bet this one will be really quick too. Every morning, 3 eggs, hash browns, a bagel, 2 pieces of bacon, and coffee. That sounds like a great breakfast. That's like the breakfast. Bruce Jenner would be proud of that one. So I'll throw the beagle in that one last biscuit. Throw a timer on for 10 minutes. We'll see how that one goes if we're still doing this. Let's see. I don't like coffee. Oh really? Let's see, I can find some. I must have missed it. Damn it. I love the trolls. I do love me some good trolls. Let's see. You haven't taken time out for a bowel and fuzz. Okay. Now we've got our gravy nice and ready to go. Break that out with a hot spoon. There we go. Over top of that. And a little bit of this. And we'll get some of these smaller bits in there. There we go. Nice thick gravy. Oh yeah. Just one more scoop. I want to get some of the big spoon's kind of just getting this stuff off the top. I want some of the. There we go. It's not doing it justice with how much. There we go. There we go. That's some pork right there. I'll take that. I will take that right there all day long. Put my. One thing I like to do with my lids, cast iron lids, is I throw them back in the oven and let them dry in there so they don't get rusty. Because they do get a lot of moisture. So I'll throw that back in there while I'm trying this out. Yeah. There we go. And then I'm going to crack one of these other biscuits open. And that's going to have some butter. A little bit of butter poured on there. And some jelly onto that. Oh yeah. I know I've said it before and I will say it again. 9 out of 10 doctors recommend you do not eat anything that I make on this channel. Ever. Ever. Because it's too delicious. Way too delicious. There we go. Back that up. Sorry. And there we go. There's breakfast. Got our coffee. I just need a fork and a spoon. Fork and a spoon, and we're going. Let's see, probably. Damn, definitely looks like something my dog. Yeah. If you've ever watched people from like UK, Ireland, Scotland, place like that, try biscuits and gravy for the first time, they don't know what to think of it. They don't know what to think of it. Let's give that a go. A little more of that. center. Oh, it's it's nice and crispy. That biscuit came out really, really nice. Like I said, first time I've ever had the 2-ingredient biscuit. Oh man, that's good. And I'm glad that I didn't put salt in it. It didn't need it. And I'm glad I put that little kick of red pepper in there. The red pepper just set it off. That's super good. That is Southern biscuits and gravy right there, guys. And a huge portion. I definitely don't know if I would. I don't think I'm going to be able to eat all this. But I'm going to give it a shot. But man, that is really good. Let me try one of these by itself. I poured a lot of butter onto that, but that looks great. Wow, that's good. That is good stuff. Yeah, and the biscuits came out really nice. I should have heated the skillet up ahead of time, but I didn't because I was afraid the bottoms would burn. But I'm definitely happy with the flavor profile. I'm definitely happy with how they rose. I mean, that big one, that came out really nice for a big flat. And plus, I took the best biscuits for myself because these are just leftovers and that I'll have tomorrow for breakfast or whatever. Oh, that's good. Yeah, chicken. Yeah, Keith, chicken fried steak and chicken fried and over fried chicken. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, fuzz. Potato pancakes are big here too. My grandmother made great potato pancakes, and she'd use leftover mashed potatoes or fresh potatoes or instant mashed potatoes, and they were all delicious. Try some more of that. But with this, the savory, the sweet, it's kicking. It's definitely good. I definitely need to tweak. I kind of need to mess around with the biscuit recipe a little bit, just to get used to trying it that way. But overall, man, I'm pretty happy with it. A 2-ingredient biscuit. I mean, how much easier can that get? And on top of it, no rise time. That's even the best part. I don't know. Is that a thing? Is it a thing? 265. I have no idea. I would give it a go. Yeah, Keith, it definitely. And Keith? You're the one that when I was doing the what was it? The chicken parmesan, and you said you do yours different. Is that correct? It's jelly, not jam, but it's close enough. It's just jelly. Let's see. This is just ignore. Yeah, just ignore it. Is that jam? But yeah, Keith, if you were the one that made your parm different, I was curious about that, and I have a junk email on my in my bio that I use just for this channel. If you have a recipe for it, if that was you, just let me know in the comments here, because I'm interested to try it. Yeah, that's good. Maybe a little more milk maybe a little bit more milk in the gravy too, but I'm not going to quibble. I'm not going to quibble about little things. The sage, definitely adding the extra sage to the sausage with the fennel and the pepper. That was definitely it. But I mean, overall, for folks that across the pond, or maybe folks that haven't tried making this sausage and gravy, it's not hard. It seems hard. It seems like a lot of people have reservations of making it because of the gravy and whatever, and making homemade biscuits. But I mean, overall, I mean, it was less. I mean, probably less than 10 ingredients to make the entire thing, and it's. I mean, that's enough. That's enough stuff, honestly, to feed 4 people, or 2 of me. But but that's easily enough to feed 4 to 5 people, without even thinking about it. Let me see. Have a good day. Mercy B, are you checking out? Good to see you. Yeah, Keith, just email me. Use my email in my bio and email me your chicken farm, and maybe we'll do it on the show. I think is that a thing? Is kind of a sensitive person. Maybe a little too sensitive for in here. I don't know. Let's see. Jelly to us is what you Americans call Jello. Oh, okay. All right. I made Jello Friday too. I made black cherry with pineapple Jello. Oh, let's see how the Beagle's biscuit came out. Give it another 2 minutes, and we'll see how that did with a heated skillet. It said not to put much on the top to get them to brown, but I think I could have put a little butter on there on the top to make them brown on the top a little bit better. Because you can see it, the brown on the top is, the brown on the bottom is perfect. The brown on the bottom is absolute. That's exactly what you want. But it could have used a little more brown on the top. But I didn't want to overcook, so is what it is. But I'd give this I'd give it 7.5, 8 out of 10. Maybe 8.5. This is really good for the first time making these biscuits. Because normally, like I said, I use Pillsbury biscuits a lot of times because they're easy. But as you guys saw, ooh, sorry. But as you saw, there wasn't much to putting those biscuits together. Kashmir Alama, hello, how are you? I'm gonna need to refill my coffee. Lake Kicker guy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Happy Sunday to you. Looks delicious, man. It is really good. As I go in, at first I said 7.5, and as I go in, I mean, I'm my own worst critic. But if I went to a restaurant and got that, I would definitely, I'd be way happy with that. I think I just could have used a little bit more milk into the flour, or into the gravy. Could have been a little more creamy. And the biscuits, I should have heated up the cast iron a little bit. But overall, I mean, if somebody put it in front of me, I'd pay for it. I need a little milk. Okay, timer off. Mendo, eating dog food. You're eating dog food? Oh man, that's terrible. That's too bad. That's awful. I feel bad for you. Let's see, Lisa Conway. Lisa Conway said hi. Hello, Lisa Conway. How are you? Good to see you this morning. Yeah, good morning to you. Good to see you. And if you folks haven't already, if you're in and you like what you see, please come back. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button. We were so close. We actually hit, which I couldn't believe for the amount of time, and for my silly little cooking channel of a guy just throwing together stuff in super old pieces of cast iron from the last century. Hit 100,000 views, way over 100,000 views on the last. With the last live stream, so that was pretty rad. I was pretty into that. Yeah, my dog just eats what I eat a lot of times. And if you were here for Thursday, if you were actually here for Thursday, the beagle has went from puppy food to adult food, and I went out and I bought like an insanely pricey dog food that I've been weaning her to by using those treats. And when her puppy food ran out, when I gave her finally weaned her into the other, the really expensive dog food, she has been sitting here. I have to pour like chicken broth onto it or whatever, or she won't eat it. So we have to figure something else out with the dog food. Have I gotten any new cast iron lately? I have not. I have not gotten any new cast iron lately. But, which is kind of, which might, not lately, I mean by, in the last 2 weeks, I haven't gotten anything new. There's a couple things I'm eyeballing. I was looking at that BSR collection with the number 6 in it, but I was looking more to flip it, and the 6 just wasn't as rare as I thought it was, because I don't know much about BSR collecting. I just know what it looks like. So I passed on that collection, which is about an 8-piece collection. I passed on that, and then as we speak, leg of lamb he had. Yeah, most likely. But yeah, and then I was thinking there was something else I was looking at. There's been a couple that I was looking at. There's been a couple I was looking at online. I saw some actually, the Columbus Hollowware, the favorites, that I've seen 2 that I was sort of I'm working on a price with a guy to get both. But he's harder to deal with than I am. So, which I didn't think was possible as far as the negotiator went, because I'm pretty rough. You better wear your steel underpants if you're negotiating with me. But yeah, this guy's worse than I am. So I'm working on that and a couple other things. But I really need to get out. I need to get out this week coming up and hit some garage sales. And I've been going to like antique stores, and it's been pretty much standard stuff. A lot of Griswold, a lot of Griswold, but it's all, Griswold 8, 75, 80 bucks. It's pretty much, everything's eBay priced. So I haven't found any kind of good deals lately on anything. I'm trying to think if I have gotten anything new. I think yeah, I know I haven't. Which is kind of strange, because usually I pick up something. I usually pick up about a piece seems to average about at least 1 or 2 pieces every 2 weeks. I usually end up with something. And I'm not even in the buying mood lately. I just, they just seem to magically appear in my house, or garage, or throughout the house like everything else. There's cast iron all over my house and kitchen. But this week I do want to get my my Sportsman grill cleaned up and get it ready for summer, which I should have done about a month and a half ago. But I'm going to get that ready for the summer so we can actually do some outdoor cooking, because these cooks inside are they're awesome and they're a lot of fun, and I really dig on doing them. But I'm ready for some summer stuff. I mean, this is my grilling's my time of the year. This is my big season, and doing grilled chicken and things like that. So. Barbecue chicken and all this kind of thing. That's my realm. So I definitely want to get my Sportsman grill cleaned up. I've got a couple of the kickoff grills, if you guys are familiar with those. I've got 2 of those at least, and we'll break those out and have some fun with those. I like them. A lot of people hate them. I like them. Pull that other biscuit out. Yeah, I definitely should have put butter on these, because they're browning up perfect on the bottoms, but they're not browning up. This is the Beagles. They're just not browned up on top. So I should have maybe done a little more milk, or I should have done a little butter on the top of them. But it told me to watch when doing the 2-ingredient biscuit. It told me to watch burning the tops. So I didn't do much to the tops, which was not the way to go. So anyway. Oh wow, we've been doing this 2 hours. Yeah, you hear bees clicking. We'll do one more, a little bit of beag scam. We'll do a trick for the road, and then we'll get out of here. I got a lot of stuff to do today. I'm sure you guys do too. It's Sunday. So we'll do a little quick beag scam to send you out of here at 2 hours. Diesel Pete. I did not think that. I was wondering if I could get this to go an hour. You want a little something? There you go. Say bye, everybody. Here you go. You're gonna spin. Yeah, get out. Can you sit? What was it? What are you doing? Why are you spinning that up? This is you. Yeah, you eat it. There you go. Oh, she's just crunching them up. She's crunching the bottoms. Well, we'll do a piece of sausage and gravy. She'll speak for that one. Can you speak? Oh, she's still picking the ones up. Something speak. Can you get a speak? Speak. Arf. Speak. Arf. Speak. Speak. Oh, you went down. Okay, I'll take down. That was hard. We've been working on it. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys get out of here. Thanks to everybody who showed up, everybody who hit the subscribe button and everything. Appreciate that. Everybody who hit the like button. If you could hit the like button on your way out, that would be super cool. I would super appreciate it. Yeah, Bob, thanks for showing up. Rick Stumbaugh, Mercy B, Greg Hart, Fuzz, as always. Thanks to everybody who showed up from across Europe. That was great to see everybody there. I hope you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and please show back up. Mr. Egan, if you could throw me your chicken parm recipe, I would greatly appreciate that. Granny Graham, thank you so much for showing up and being in here today. I really appreciate that. And just everybody who stopped in and said hello and subscribed today. Folks from Scotland and folks from Ireland and from England. And we didn't have anybody from New Zealand. Usually we have somebody from New Zealand pop in, but not today. And Scotty's Backyard Barbecue and all that. And I will continue to say this until things get better, but special shout out to my friend Gino Gregory, who is not doing too great right now, and we're hoping for a big turnaround. We're waiting for that second round to knock it out and all that. So positive vibes to Gino would be greatly appreciated from everybody here. But like I said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do my thing. You guys go do yours. And I will see you guys in the comments section. See ya.